This episode is brought to you by MeUndies. Underwear drawers are like the Wild West. You never know what you're going to pull out or what shape it's in. So upgrade your collection with the buttery soft comfort of MeUndies. MeUndies' signature fabric is as soft as a warm hug from your favorite sweater. Plus, it's breathable and oh so comfy, making it ideal for all-day wear. Get 20% off your first order, plus free shipping at MeUndies.com/Spotify with code SPOTIFY. That's MeUndies.com/Spotify, code SPOTIFY.
Have I Got News for You is back for another season. Roy Wood Jr., Amber Ruffin, and Michael Ian Black are finding the funny in the week's biggest stories. Have I Got News for You, Saturday at 9 on CNN, and stream next day on Max.
I think you're on mute.
Workday starting to sound the same?
I think you're on mute.
Find something that sounds better for your career on LinkedIn. With LinkedIn Job Collections, you can browse curated collections by relevant industries and benefits, like flex PTO or hybrid workplaces, so you can find the right job for you. Get started at linkedin.com/jobs. Finding where you fit. LinkedIn knows how.
Hi. So good to be here. Well, if I close my eyes for too long, I realize how tired I am. I can't do that.
I'm also very tired. But we're here. We're here. We're doing a thing. And it's going to be good. It's going to be great.
It will be good. It'll be fantastic. Welcome to
We did ruffle a few feathers with this one.
Did we?
Mm-hmm.
I just screenshotted. I haven't read them yet. I wonder what people are mad about.
One of the things that we were against, and everybody's like, no. But we'll get into it.
If you fucking freaks are like, no, I prefer my cooking contact with eye contact, that's
no.
on you.
It wasn't one of our personal takes.
Oh, it's going to be the coworker one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because here's the thing, like, and we both said, you're not wrong. You would hate us personally as coworkers. And that's okay.
And that's fine.
We'd hate you too. And that's also okay.
And I said during that, there's a reason why I don't like to work with other people.
Yep. Okay, so this is see you next Tuesday where we read the results of last week's episode of But Am I Wrong? All the votes, how you voted, what you think, your thoughts and your feelings. And yeah, I'm going to have to look like an old person because I do have my new contacts in and I don't have my
bifocals like you should.
Stop. My glasses that adjust the prescription so I can look at things up close better and like it's better for contrast and stuff. So I don't have those right now. I did cancel that appointment because I thought it was happening during when I need Beyonce pre-sale tickets. So I would need to call back and be like, I can take that appointment again if you have it. So I literally have my phone and I'm just like holding it so far away. So it is for episode 131 and you were first.
All right. Melissa reminds us that stan culture is absolutely disgusting and artists need to do more to stop it. 4% said I was wrong. 96% said I was not wrong.
In the time after this, Billie Eilish's mom has been liking comments saying she was robbed. I would be so mad. I'd be like, stop.
As I was going to my screenshots, Duolingo had this. They hate Drake probably as much as they're probably number 3. And they've been making content against Drake all week too.
I love
and
it.
Now Duolingo is dead. And during their funeral announcement, they said, or I guess it would be more like a
wake,
not the wake, the like when you put it in the newspaper that somebody's died.
Obituary.
It was like their obituary, and they talked about everything that Duolingo has gone through, and they basically blamed Drake for being dead. And then someone said, we're gonna get like who did this to you, and they said probably check cell block 1, which is a reference to a line in Kendrick's song. But they signed it in, please respect Dua Lipa at this time.
Oh my, I love them.
And she responded to
perfect. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Yeah,
That's
they've
so
got a
funny.
whole thing going. Even the picture on Duolingo now is just an owl with the eyes
Dead.
crossed out. Yep.
It's funny.
They have great marketing.
Great.
Someone said, listening to the podcast now and want to point out that Billie Eilish has been outwardly and openly racist to the Asian community, and everyone just decided it was cool and fine, and she got a pass because she's self-proclaimed woke.
Yeah, neither of us knew that.
I was unaware of that.
I looked it up. It's not good.
When did this happen?
I'm not sure. I looked it up when the last time we recorded, and you had told me that someone had wrote in saying this. One of them she apologized for, and then the other she said that, like, I don't know if she said anything or maybe she didn't say anything, but it was like it was a misunderstanding, like, or something. Like, she didn't know what she was lip syncing to, but I'm not sure. I haven't seen the source material either.
I'm looking now. I just pulled up an article from the BBC, and it said that she did it when she was 13 or 14 and didn't know at the time that it was a slur. And then when she was 19 is when all this had resurfaced, and she said, I am appalled and embarrassed and want to barf that I ever mouth along to that word. This song was the only time I've ever heard that word, and it was never used around me by anyone in my family, regardless of my ignorance and age at the time. Nothing excuses the fact that it was hurtful, and for that I am sorry. So
yeah, I think there's other things of, like, her in the background of things doing whatever, but I think that's the only one she's ever addressed. But yeah, I had no idea.
I didn't either. So thank you for bringing that to my awareness.
Yes.
Someone said, it's frustrating to know that no matter how much somebody outwardly admires another artist, they still resist to call their fans out of fear of losing them instead of doing their best to correct that disgusting behavior. Someone said, had a fandom call me many racist things just because I didn't like a song they released at the time. All I said was, I'm sorry, I don't like it.
Then we have Meghan pleads to stop making food videos sexual.
So many people have seen this person. I've never seen them. So thank you, algorithm, for knowing to keep this shit away from me.
I think I've only seen her in, like, stitches or people referencing, like, oh, I'm making the whatever bagels I saw on this, or people being like, oh, tag her, she's the OG or whatever. Because I remember I was so unsuspecting when I first saw her. I think I literally found her from clicking on someone tagging her, like the blue comment of someone tagging her, not knowing that I was about to be visually accosted by her tiny little tongue sticking out of her mouth and smacking and, like, caressing her yeasty dough. I was like, I can't. Her yeasty mounds. 3% said I was wrong. 97% said I was not wrong. So thank you for all of you guys not making me absolutely terrified. Someone said, I just know some of these people make content like this because they look down on quote unquote real porn. But if someone told me at one point in their life they made adult content videos and showed me it was food videos, I would redact it. Yes. That's exactly how I feel. Like, it feels like they're putting a separation between them and people who are doing OnlyFans. And I'm like, I think this is far more fucking embarrassing. And I think this is, like, I don't think doing OnlyFans is embarrassing. I think this is embarrassing.
Yep. I was thinking of putting up a camera while I'm working out.
Do that.
Yeah.
Like, here's the thing. Like, I have had videos went viral on fucking 4chan of me trying on hideous bathing suits because people were, like, just turning this video in silent and fapping it out. And, like, that content wasn't sexual. Men will make anything fucking sexual. Put your tongue back in your mouth and cook like a normal person. Like, people with big titties can't, like, live their everyday life without men online being like, big mommy milkers. Like, the fucking Melinda, the AT&T girl, she started directing hers because these men could not fucking control themselves. Whatever.
And she was wearing a button-up shirt.
A button-up polo. She was wearing a blue polo for some of these ones. Like, they're going to do, you don't have to give them this level of it. Like, I promise you, men will sexualize a fucking cardboard cutout. Like, you don't have to do this. And if you really want to lean in, make a fucking OnlyFans.
Just do it where it's consensual.
Yeah.
Putting it on TikTok makes it not consensual.
No, it's also an app for fucking children. Like, stop. Someone said, oh my God, this lady freaks me out. Her videos make me so uncomfortable and I've blocked every profile she comes up on. Thank you. I hate this bitch. I knew this is who you were talking about. Stop staring at me with those googly eyes. That's exactly a good way to describe it. She does have googly eyes. Someone said, this is literally the exact person I thought of. I searched for sourdough videos one time. That's the other part, is that, like, I think the reason why I saw her was, like, she was, like, someone was, like, being like, oh my God, I love so-and-so sourdough videos. I think I'm getting someone talking about Diane Yeast. Like, their nice little sourdough started, and then it's that. So, like, imagine people who are actually searching for help.
Maybe that's why I don't see her videos. Is because
you hate sourdough.
I hate sourdough. I think it's disgusting. I've talked about it before. I think it tastes sour and disgusting. I do not like sourdough, and I've blocked that word because everybody was fucking making it, and so I think that might be why I've never gotten her stuff.
I do really have a vitriol towards the fact that people have made sourdough, which, for anyone who does not know, and they hear rice-a-roni, the San Francisco treat, I don't know what the fuck rice-a-roni is. I don't know anybody who's from the Bay who's like, yeah, rice-a-roni. We would say sourdough. Sourdough is like that is specifically San Francisco, the Bay. Like, that is our thing. And I have gotten, like, irrationally angry to find out that, like, these, like, Maha anti-vaxxers have, like, taken out over sourdough. That's, like, sourdough is now can be a dog whistle for, like, the alt-right. And I'm like,
yeah,
no.
And they're like, my great grandmother had this from the Civil War.
No, I personally prefer my sourdough to have to follow the rules of OSHA as well as the FDA from a bakery.
I don't like how it's, like, alive. It's disgusting.
I don't want to think about that.
Everything about
it's like kombucha
is disgusting to me. The way it looks, the way it tastes, the process of making it.
Did you ever get into watching people who were obsessed with making their own kombucha? Because to me, that is like...
Kombucha is also something that I enjoy, bought from the store.
Yeah.
I don't need to see that.
No. It's also, like, a science experiment. And, like, I'm not cool with, like, what do they call it? Rogue canning or whatever. People who are like, fuck botulism. I'm not going to follow the rules. That, I'm like... That's crazy. Like, that's, like, fundamentally fucking crazy. And I do feel the same way about people who are making their own kombucha, because that isn't getting baked. So the whole thing of it being alive and, like, all the, I'm like, you're not a scientist. Like,
yeah,
stop.
Yeah.
It's giving, like, Doc McStuffins, and I'm like, stop. It's giving child doctor.
I would take a diagnosis from Doc McStuffins. At least she's a Nepo baby.
I would
mother's
let
a doctor, so
True
at
Jackson
least I
VP
know.
Yeah, I would let True Jackson VP
backup.
invest my money and Doc McStuffins conduct my physical. I'm not drinking your homemade fucking kombucha. Nasty fucking work. Also, if a man lives in your house, a straight man lives in your house, I don't trust.
No.
I don't trust that even more.
Nope.
No. Okay, someone else said, after listening to this episode, I saw the chocolate guy do a sexy one. I was so grossed out. I don't think he did that one on purpose.
I've heard him talk. Have you heard him talk?
Isn't he German?
No, he's French.
Oh, maybe. This might be an unpopular opinion. I don't love a French accent. Yeah. So I was just picked one of the accents that kind of give me the ick.
He seems like a very nice man, and I think he might have just done this just for one video.
I think someone peer pressured him into this. I don't think we'll see it again either.
He did not look comfortable doing it.
No. He didn't look like he was enjoying it at all.
No.
And that's the worst part, is, like, I feel like I'm watching someone else get off to making bread while I'm supposed to also be getting off, and I'm like, I'm just disgusted.
Yep.
It's giving the same feeling as a flasher on a subway.
Mm-hmm.
Someone said, could not agree more. The only one I like is Susie Vidal, and she has not, to my knowledge, finger fucked a chicken. Who is this Susie? Let's give Susie a shout out. Susie.
There's plenty of people online that enjoy watching them cook things. It's the ones that take it to the next level of disgusting.
Yeah, I don't know nothing about it. She seemed fine, but yeah, no. It's like, Emeril Lagasse's not finger fucking a chicken. And if he, like, but take in mind, like, when you watch, like, those kinds of food shows, they're doing things that are a lot more, like, grotesque than you are showing on TikTok. And even then, they're not making it sexual. We are so excited to have a brand new sponsor, and I'm feeling very cool because Jesse and Lily are sponsored by OneSkin, and now we are.
Yay!
We are finally here. Skincare, we love skincare. We're all about it. And let's talk about peptides for a minute. If you're like me, you're seeing them everywhere. Peptide this, peptide that, peptide. It's almost a tongue twister. Just because something says peptide on it doesn't actually mean that it's really doing anything for you, but that is where OneSkin's OS1 peptide is different. Some peptides just sit on top of the skin, and OS1 goes deeper. It's scientifically formulated to penetrate the cells within skin's deeper layers, which improves key skin health markers like collagen production, hydration, and my personal uphill battle constantly, skin barrier function.
I think that's both of our uphill battles.
Truly.
I was so excited to get this as well because I just ran out of my other moisturizer, so it was perfect timing. Not only is OS1 proven to remain stable from the lab to the countertop, so you get reliable results every time. And guys, listen, if you're not getting results from your peptides, it might be time to take a closer look. All of OneSkin's topical supplements are backed by lab and clinical studies. And they're all powered by OS1 peptide, the first and only peptide that is scientifically proven to target senescent cells that contribute to lines, wrinkles, and thinning skin. Try OneSkin with an exclusive 15% off your first purchase using Blame Me at oneskin.co.
I love these products. I've been trying out the Essential Moisturizer and the Essential Eye Cream. And for me, eye cream is one of those things that, like, I love a little luxury eye cream. I love to, like, feel that, but specifically the older that I get, and also sometimes if my sleep is not that great, I really notice the lines under the eyes, and I always want my makeup to apply better. And what I love about this is it looks so nice if I put it on, no makeup on, but I also can apply makeup on it. It's not just for like that really rich overnight kind of a thing. It's really a daily thing that you can use, and it just looks and feels really good. And the moisturizer.
Oh, can I talk about that? Because sometimes my skin is very dry and scaly. Sometimes my skin is very oily. Sometimes my skin, I'm like, what even is this? But this face moisturizer is perfect. It goes on very smooth. It's not too thick, but you can feel the moisture in it. And then afterwards, after it's like really soaked in, you can just feel just how supple your skin is.
That's the perfect word, supple. And just like us, OneSkin loves science. So glad to hear. We love science in this house.
We do love science.
And OneSkin's entire R&D process is run in-house, strictly adhering to the rigor of scientific process from start to finish. Every claim is based on lab or clinical studies, and it's documented.
Founded and led by an all-woman team of skin and longevity scientists, OneSkin is redefining the aging process with their proprietary OS1 peptide, the first ingredient proven to help skin look, feel, and behave like its younger self.
Get 15% off with code BLAMEME at oneskin.co. That's 15% off oneskin.co with code BLAMEME. After your purchase, they'll ask where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them that we sent you. Invest in the health and longevity of your skin with OneSkin. Your future self will thank you.
When life gets hectic, one of the first things that goes out the window for me is making sure I'm eating nutritious meals and not just getting takeout when I realize I don't have the energy to cook that day. And that's why I love that I can optimize my nutrition this year with Factor. Factor has chef-made gourmet meals that make eating well easy. They're dietitian approved and ready to heat and eat in 2 minutes, so you can fuel right and feel great no matter what life throws at you. Factor arrives fresh and fully prepared, so it's perfect for any active, busy lifestyle. And they have 40 options across 8 dietary preferences on the menu each week, so you can pick meals tailored to your goals and choose from options like Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, or Keto. I love knowing that I have Factor meals in the fridge because it means I have a variety of dinner options without any of the hassle of deciding what to make or cleaning up, and they truly are so delicious. I've never been disappointed by a meal from Factor. With Factor, you can reach your goals with ingredients you can trust and convenience that can't be beat. So eat smart with Factor. Get started at factormeals.com/factorpodcast and use code FACTORPODCAST to get 50% off your first box plus free shipping. That's code FACTORPODCAST at factormeals.com/factorpodcast to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. As a podcast network, our first priority has always been audio and the stories we're able to share with you. But at Realm, we also sell some pretty cool merch, and organizing that was made both possible and easy with Shopify. When you think about successful businesses like Aloe or Allbirds or Skims, an often overlooked secret is the business behind the business that makes selling and, for shoppers, buying simple. For millions of businesses, that business is Shopify. That's because nobody does selling better than Shopify. It's the home of the #1 checkout on the planet. And the not-so-secret secret that's definitely worth talking about is that Shop Pay boosts conversions up to 50%. That's more happy customers and way more sales going. If you're hoping to grow your business, your commerce platform better be ready to sell wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling, on the web, in your store, in their feed, and everywhere in between. Businesses that sell more, sell on Shopify. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout we use with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/realm, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/realm to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/realm.
Someone else said, this image immediately made me uneasy. Please tell me why my algorithm hates me and continues to show me this lady's videos. Just often enough that I forget she exists and I feel safe again. And then bam, there she is. Girl, go ahead and make your gut healthy bagels, but please leave me out of it. Someone else said, I was definitely in the boat of thinking this was funny and entertaining, especially when I was in my straight bisexual era. But now I realize the last thing I want is a piece of salmon that was fingered by some man's dirty-ass fingernails. Someone else said the way she immediately came to mind. Yes, the way to be a hot chef on TikTok is to A, be hot, and B, be a good chef that makes delicious dishes, not fuck the food. Hello? That's a good point. The amount of times I just want the recipe and 99% of them don't even show me is criminal. I just talked about this with the group chat the other day. It's literally so weird. I agree. I did not consent to being stared at in that way while I'm trying to learn new recipes. It reminds me of the rage bait videos of that woman who would dump pasta on her kitchen island and eat off the marble countertops. That's exactly how I feel. I think even TikTok flags that one as like, that is like a fetish. It is a fetish. And like, it's recognized within the fetish community. And I think the issue with like these kinds of videos is like, once you don't engage with rage bait, you don't really see rage bait on your timeline. Mm-hmm. But this, it's like, she is making you irrationally angry, but she's also like hitting all of the same points that like regular cooking videos do. So like she slips him through the algorithm. And that's the part that pisses me off. Like, don't trick the algorithm because I don't want to see this. Keep it separate. This is like, to me, yikes. It's big Facebook Reels energy. Not Instagram Reels. Instagram
Reels is disgusting.
Instagram Reels is disgusting, but Facebook Reels,
I hate it.
Is like worse.
I want mine to stop being so nasty.
No, you actually need to stop clicking on yours, and you also need to stop sending.
The thing is like I'm not purposely clicking on them.
Okay, sometimes then stop sending them.
I'll be watching something else, and then it just Instagram Reels just automatically gives you the next thing. So I will be watching something completely normal, and then the nasty things show up. And I'm not even sending you the nastiest of the nasty.
No, but you're still, and I have to not act, and you're always like, you never responded to my story, or you never responded to my message. And I'm like, bitch, I don't know what's in there until you literally face to face say, go in and look at that message. I'm scared to be in there if I'm half awake and I accidentally click it, and then you fuck up my algorithm.
Yep.
Because I would say like a good 75% of what Melissa sends me are like the most disgusting. And
if it's on Instagram, it's going to be most likely it's going to be disgusting.
Yes, and then you go, you never respond to my DMs. I go, yeah, because you send me the worst things I've ever seen.
Because if I see it, somebody else has to see it.
But then you're engaged, and it's going to keep showing because you're sharing it.
Yeah, well.
Your reels are fucked. They are. It is what it is.
All right, here we go. So controversial here.
Oh, yeah. Oops.
Writer number one, were they wrong for not speaking to their coworker after they were ignored? 38% said the writer is wrong. 62% said the writer is not wrong.
Oh, sorry, everyone.
I still stand by what I said.
Yeah.
And I'll double down on it here because everybody was pointing out that this person is the shift lead. Yeah, I knew that going into it. But as the shift lead, they shouldn't have stopped talking to the coworker because that is part of their job, is to tell them what to do. Even though, do I want to be told what to do? No.
I also think that like everything worked out because they quit.
They
and,
quit, and
that's the
you
goal.
won.
You won.
Now you can get somebody that's more capable in there.
Do I think you were in the right for doing it that way? No, but the end goal was achieved. So
Right.
like, who am I to say how you got there? It like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like, you got what you wanted.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you didn't want them to quit, in which case I think that's an oversight. I think that you should have wanted them to just quit.
Yeah. I'm going to go to the comments on Spotify. Somebody said, their name's Lindsay. They said, the guy you were making fun of for taking his job too seriously said he was a shift lead. I wasn't making fun of him. The shift lead is basically a supervisor. At any job I've ever had, they've had the authority to tell their coworkers what to do to an extent. They're obviously not like writing people up, but typically they're in charge when the managers aren't there. Okay.
This is why, and I think this fits exactly why I said I think they have a future in management.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have that personality type. Does it mean I like it? No. But like, we also have to get pap smears. Do we like that? No. Do we have to get them? Yeah.
I don't mind them.
I actually don't mind them as much as other like people do.
Yeah. It's over in a second.
Yeah. I really don't look forward to the day that I have to get my titties squished in that metal sandwich panini box.
I got it done when I had a lump.
Because you've dense titties.
Yeah, I've got dense titties. And it wasn't that bad, to
really?
be honest. I had to get a little, because I am short. I had to get a little stool to stand on.
I didn't even think about that part.
Yep. But it wasn't bad.
I have the opposite experience when I've had to get like x-rays done of like certain body parts that I'm like so long and tall that I have to like not get on my knees, but like I have to take a very wide stance and like an arch and stuff. The weirdest is when I had to do it of my what did I have to do? I did a heart ultrasound, and that I learned too much about my anatomy when you said you have a very small rib cage, and then it was like I have to go on into the rib cage. I said externally, you're gonna have to. You're taking your little and go horrible.
Someone said, writer said they were the shift lead, therefore it was their job to make sure people did their side work, closing duties, etc. Sure, don't snitch at the first offense, but it's lazy workers like Barry that make everyone else have to compensate. Jobs like that are synonymous with a group project, and no one likes the ones not pulling their weight. The writer could have been more tactful, but I say good riddance to the girl who quit.
I agree with that. I think if the writer had been more tactful, I don't know that the person would still be, I think they'd probably still work there and still be doing it poorly.
Yeah. And also there were other people that weren't doing their jobs as well. Like when they went and found them in the back eating, there were other people with them.
Mm-hmm.
So why aren't the other people getting a little?
And can you not just say to them, like, you have to stop and you have to help right now?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Said that during the first episode, it's like you should have just went and found them and told them, come close with me.
Yeah. Instead
of doing the work and then going to talk to them after the fact. Somebody else said, as someone who works retail, this would make me so mad. Like, get up and help me close. You're getting paid to work. Someone else said, this one is tricky, but I think the writer is wrong with love and peace. I work in an office and have so many colleagues that drive me up the wall, and some are frankly incompetent. But I would never go and snitch to their boss or do their job and then complain. I would ask them to do it and then slightly get more passive aggressive if they didn't. But honestly, that doesn't really happen once you ask. Regarding the phone playing, I would never rat somebody out for that as someone who spends way too much time on Instagram when their job is boring. I share an office with two of the most type A guys on the planet. One legit has 25-minute timer to work and then goes on a little walk for 5 minutes like a
Oh, that man's a Capricorn.
Like a robot.
Oh.
He would never take out his phone, but does he snitch on me? Never, because it's none of his business.
Mm-hmm. This is the exact reply that I agree with the most. Of like, I think you're allowed to be mad and then say something about it and then tell someone to do their job. But I think if you don't ask someone to do the thing and you're upset about it and like mad about it or whatever, then like you're making a choice to be passive aggressive. Mm-hmm. And like you can either choose to be confrontational or passive aggressive, but like there is no third option in which like being passive aggressive isn't passive aggressive. Even if you're in the right, it's still passive aggressive, and that's fine. We've all been there. We've all done it.
Somebody else said he was a shift lead, so I think he didn't step out of his role when trying to get everyone, not just the highlighted coworker, to actually help with the work. But they didn't. They did the work and then was just mad about it.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's that is like the worst kind of behavior to display in a workplace, because you just get so taken advantage of. Mm-hmm. Because then they know they can hire incompetent people and you will you'll pick up the slack because like that's your work ethic. And like, unfortunately, that will never be met with anything other than that being an expectation. It doesn't change your salary. Like, it doesn't do any of that stuff. Like, it does not benefit you. It benefits the company always.
Someone else said, I have to disagree on this one. This isn't about being passionate about your job. It's about basic respect for your coworkers. No one working in retail or food service wants to be scrubbing floors at the end of a shift, but it has to be done. And if one person refuses to help, that just means someone else is stuck doing extra work. Saying they're just there to clock in and clock out doesn't really work when their lack of effort makes everyone else's shift harder. This isn't about having some manager aura. It's about the we both want to get out of here as quickly as possible aura. When one person doesn't pull their weight, it slows everyone down. Doing the bare minimum still means doing something, not sitting on your phone while your coworkers have to stay late clean up after you. This person already asked their coworker to help and they straight up ignored them. So of course the next step is talking to someone else about it. No one should have to bend over backwards just to get a coworker to do basic tasks.
I agree.
I just don't think you should feel bad about them quitting.
No, that's what I mean. Like, that's the whole thing. It's like, we don't think that she did anything wrong. Mm-hmm. There are two different avenues to take: confrontational and passive aggressive. There's not like a moral one in that, because like it's not about like the content. It's about like the delivery. It's about like the way you go about it. Like, mm-hmm. You can be 100% in the right, and then the way you go about it can be still will be classified as confrontational or passive aggressive. And then whichever one you pick, you have to be happy with the outcome of it. And like, you have to be fine with the outcome of it and like how you're perceived after, because that's the choice that you made. Did you want to have to make the choice? No, but like, it is what it is. Mm-hmm. So I think they should stand proud and like, you know, it should be like, and what I do, and you do it too. I do it again. Like that's the vibe I think it should be. Not that they're like a narc or anything. Right. It's not that.
Someone else said, I mean, not wrong, but you can't expect to be popular at work if you act like this.
Exactly. And like, that's unfortunate. But at the same time, there are like groups of people who I've worked with who they were all like that and I was not, and they got along. And like, that's fine. But I think unfortunately for pretty much everybody, it is detrimental to be too good at your job. Especially when like, for me, if everyone else is working less and like is doing less, I have to come to the decision of like, either I do all of the work, like a group project, like someone said, like either I do all of the work and I take all the credit, and that affects their social ramifications, or I shut up and I deal with it, or I make a stink as it's happening. And like, I make it a point of being like, okay, then we're going to fail because I'm not going to pull more than that. But unfortunately, there is no good option. So like, you have to plan for whatever the outcome is of whatever you choose.
Saturday presents, in the red corner, the undisputed, undefeated Weed Whacker Guy. Champion of hurling grass and pollen everywhere. And in the blue corner, the challenger, extra strength Saturday. Eye drops that work all day to prevent the release of histamines that cause itchy allergy eyes. And the winner by knockout is Saturday. Saturday, bring it on.
In a way, it ends where it begins.
Very insightful.
Thank you for sharing this Red Baron with us, Linda. It's so tasty, it makes me want to share something of my own. I didn't actually read the book.
Me neither.
I watched the movie last night.
I judged it by its cover.
I haven't read a book since middle school.
I'm secretly seeing 2 other book clubs.
But I can't even read.
I'm not really Gary. He just paid me to be here. Sharing Red Baron pizza can lead to more sharing.
You found your person. Now let the Knot help you with everything else. The Knot connects you to the wedding inspo, vendors, venues, and planning tools you need to make your day totally you. Having helped plan 25 million weddings, we've got your back when it comes to every little detail like RSVPs, budgets, and more. Because your wedding comes to life with the connections that matter the most. Get started at theknot.com/audio. The Knot. Let's plan your wedding together.
Then we writer number 2, would they be wrong? I had so many options of different graphics to use. So writer number 2, would they be wrong if what? Juno. I saw someone said that like Sabrina Carpenter, she's like she's like infantilizing and sexualizing herself. She wrote a whole song called Juno, and people are like, that's like the goddess of fertility and sex, and like it's Juno's, that's a reference name like that. And they were like, oh, my bad. Sorry, I said that. And I was like, hey, glad they recognize that. Writer number 2, would they be wrong if they told their husband that they needed to go to a sex lesson? 50% of the writer's wrong, but 50% of the writer is not wrong. What?
I think it's the delivery.
Well, obviously.
I agree with this because I didn't come... There was no clear cut, are they wrong or they not?
No, but they would be wrong if they said that.
We don't know how they like to talk to each other.
I do know that he's trying really hard.
So sweaty.
Then, yeah, this honestly makes it sound like they've been going along with the emotions and not communicating what they're thinking or feeling or trying new things on their own. You can't just put someone into that with no explanation. You have to communicate effectively for all aspects of your relationship, but that includes physical intimacy too, if that's a part of your relationship. This is a mean way to tell your partner that you're not into the sex right now. Writer definitely needs to hear this, but it wasn't their husband's quote-unquote fault, but something sort of a deeper issue. Yep. As much as I want to pin all this on the man, it does take 2 to tango. The writer isn't wrong for bringing it up because their satisfaction matters just as much as their partners. But at this point, I feel like it's better to be upfront and honest because the longer it takes, the worse it's going to feel. Yes.
Just like the sex.
And like, the way that like I could not bring myself to continue having bad sex. Like I would be like, I'm not having sex anymore. Like, I can't have sex with a man. Like him sweaty on top of me, trying so hard, and I'm just like, I would hate him so. Do you know what I mean? Like I can't. I think they'd only be wrong if they brought it up as a problem he has rather than a problem they need to work on together. Because as you guys said, it's entirely possible it could be an issue on the writer's side, and the quote unquote lesson might actually highlight that. Yeah, that'd be like a rough place to like realize, like, oh, I actually don't love you anymore.
It's me.
It's actually not you. It's me. So the tone and delivery is everything. If it was done with kindness, I don't think it's wrong. But if it's done in a way that's basically like, what the fuck are you doing? So wrong. Like, what was that? Like, ew. It really depends. I will say I agree she needs to step away from smutty books for a while if she is reading them. Was there anyone else you said?
Someone came in.
I think the sex lesson is wrong, but like they clearly need to talk about the husband and get their situations and their feelings sorted out. Maybe individual therapy first to try and figure out why their sex life sucks all of a sudden. Yeah, I can't stop thinking about this one. I really do need them to write back in. And I have to say that like, I know sometimes we're like, okay, guys, delivery. I love how unabashedly yourselves you are when you phrase things to us. Like the same thing when the person was like, I just like don't think we have friendship vibes because it is so helpful because I understand exactly what you mean. And like, this is how you should write into us, like in the way that like, this is how you'd put it to your friends. And then like, we can workshop a better way. But like, I can't stress enough that like, please don't change your instinct in phrasing to us, because like it so helps me understand how you're feeling, and then we can help on the delivery.
Yep.
And I love that kind of stuff. Like I love doing that for friends. Like I love like writing like how do I say this nicely? Like how do I respond to this text message? Like I'm very I'm great at it. So but it's also so helpful to know like how you feel underneath like the pleasantries.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever find yourself playing the budgeting game? Well, with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive, you can find options that fit your budget and potentially lower your bills. Try it at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law. Not available in all states.
BTW, FYI. Visit Nexplanon.com RN to learn about Nexplanon. It's an adjustable implant, 68 milligrams radio pair. Or ask your HCP IRL. Okay, TTYL.
This episode is brought to you by LifeLock. During tax season, your personal info travels to a lot of places. Between payroll, your tax consultant, and the IRS. If your W-2 gets exposed, that's just the ticket for identity thieves. That's why LifeLock monitors millions of data points every second. If your identity is stolen, they'll fix it guaranteed or your money back. Don't let identity thieves take you for a ride. Save up to 40% your first year. Visit LifeLock.com/podcast. Terms apply.
Then we've got my wrong of the week. Krista Faria. 95% said Krista's wrong. 5% said Krista's not wrong. And it says NPT. I don't know if that stands for something, just a typo.
In what?
On the graphic.
Don't say that, Melissa. I thought I literally double checked everything. I rephrased things. There were some times where it was like the wrong tense and I was like, oh, or like there's a double word in one. I can't ever fucking win. There's literally not a single week that I go through.
That's fine.
God damn it. You're right.
I'm actually part of that 5% because I was doing this while I was sitting in a restaurant and the person that I was meeting came in and it moved as soon as
there
they
you are.
came
I see
in.
you right there.
Yep. It moved as when it came in and I went to I was just trying to hold it down so it wouldn't move and I clicked the not wrong. NPT wrong.
NPT wrong.
I don't think anybody wrote in.
I have to say, I really kind of wish everyone we talked about worked for like Associated Press and had like these formal images of them at the exact moments of what we're addressing that they did wrong. Like this is her at the like I didn't have to do a screenshot, high quality.
Yeah, it's very good. Good quality. She also like her division that she works in is music and entertainment.
When I found that out, I was like, girl, I thought this
like
was
her degree is in this.
I thought this was your first day here. I thought you guys, they said, these bitches are so tired from all these elections. Let's let them go to the Grammys.
Mm-mm.
I didn't know that you had a whole subset of this.
Yep.
And now I guess, like, to be fair, this is the only time I've heard of Associated Press doing pop culture. So now I guess I know that they do that.
Yes, that's what I was trying. Like, they are the news.
But I'm just saying that, like, now it's kind of like rage farming that, like, now I know that you exist from doing this. And to be fair, in my own similar instance, that's why they wanted the other people to be controversial at the Daytime Emmys, because they were like, then people will actually talk about the Daytime Emmys. And I was like, okay, I do think if you had told the people you were hiring that was the goal, I think that it would have been better off, like, that they were trying to do that. I do wish you had also told the innocent bystanders who were supposed to just be there, and you didn't think that we would do. You didn't want two parties to bait and like really rage bait and all that stuff. So I think as one of those the aforementioned parties, I do think you should have told me so I could have said no, thank you, because I didn't know what you were going to do. So.
Yep. Okay. Someone said, I took a gummy and remembered that I got really upset when Meghan said the AP shouldn't be on the carpet. I could not remember why due to gummy, but I'll get back to you.
Well, I think it's mostly because I didn't know that they did anything besides politics. And now that I know, what an unfortunate way for me to not know this about them.
That was your twin that said that.
Twin, where have you been? Nobody knows me. Then we have my wrong of the week. I nominated the Daily Mail, the Daily Fail. 99% of the Daily Mail is wrong. 1% said they are not wrong. Do you think that's like one of the most, besides like pharmaceutical sales of like, you know, peddling like benzos to doctors like Johnson & Johnson aspect? Like, do you think that's one of like the more, like you don't want to tell people what you do when someone asks you do you say you work in journalism and you like don't get specific about where you work?
No.
You don't think so?
No, I think that people that work at the Daily Mail are trolls in their lives.
But, so you think that if someone's
it's like the
asked
people
you, like,
at
of course
TMZ,
they work there.
TMZ love the people that work at TMZ. Most of them love working there.
The people who work at TMZ
thing.
also, but they are on camera. Like they're like, hello, but like
true. But I think the Daily Mail people are the same way.
I just imagine like you're fresh out of college, you just went to Northwestern, you went to the School of Journalism, and the only job you can get is like the Daily Mail, and like unfortunately you do have to take it, and you're like, I like you've got friends working at like OWN, and you have friends working at like local news, all of that stuff, and it's like I have to take it, but I'm not happy about it. But maybe you're right. Maybe they have like high retention, because I do think TMZ has like an alarmingly high retention rate.
Mm-hmm.
Someone said, what pisses me off even more about this is that all the other Australian shithole quote-unquote news platforms were repeating the Daily Mail's article, but changing the order of the headline to infer that Katie went to the liquor store and left her child in the car after picking her child up from school, when that literally didn't happen. Yeah, that shit is also pissed me off, and like that people were saying that she went straight from like the like liquor, all of that, and it's like, no, she went, that was it earlier in the day. That was not like, they were following her. They saw her there. It's not that they saw her they saw her drinking outside and then saw her drive her car to the liquor store. That didn't happen. They just knew that she went to a liquor store and then knew that she was not looking well and having, you know, mental health issues. Like it was that. And like, she's also been apparently very well documented about her mental health issues. And so it felt very poignantly targeted knowing that. Someone else said the Daily Mail is always wrong. Yep. Someone else said, when is the Daily Mail not wrong? I don't remember what this even was. The Daily Mail is literally always wrong. After this, Katie Ritchie posted a statement about her mental health and said that the Daily Mail is making it worse. The Daily Mail proceeded to then report on the statement and include a video and the photographs again. So disgusting. I wonder, they just must be from ads, because I was like, how do they make so much money? Because like, I don't know anyone who likes them.
Yeah.
I know people who will like make an exception. They'll like get so mad when they like talk about like Dancing with the Stars or like Strictly people, where it's like, no, like, you know, the ones of like I don't know what the UK equivalent to the Midwest moms is. Actually, the Fiat 500s, whatever they're called. That's what they usually call their Midwest mom demographic. But like anyone who will talk shit on Meghan Markle, they will like, they've got their attention for that. And that's the one that I'm like, oh, okay. So it's like, you cannot talk shit about this person, but like, if it's Meghan Markle, I'll take it. I'll eat it up all day. Mm. And I know they're losing their minds because she's actually active on Instagram stories now, and I'm loving it. I'm watching. She's my first person every day. I go, there she is. Do. Let's see what she's up to.
Somebody on the Spotify page said, Hannah said, for Australian drama, the podcast Shameless also covered this story and had similar thoughts.
Mm.
So that's it.
Yay!
All right. Well, tune in on Thursday for Don't Blame Me, Friday for Fisting Friday, and then we'll be back next week with But Am I Wrong? And this show on Tuesday. See you next Tuesday. And we will see you.
We
will see you next Tuesday.
This is a Sister Sign production hosted by me, Megan Rinks.
And me, Melissa D. Montz, plus Diamond Imprint Productions. From the podcast that brought you to each of the last lesbian bars in the country and back in time through the sapphic history that shaped them comes a brand new season of cruising beyond the bars. This is your host, Sarah Gabrielli, and I've spent the past year interviewing history-making lesbians and queer folks about all kinds of queer spaces, from bookstores to farms to line dancing and much more.
For 11 years, every night women slept illegally on the common.
We would move down to the West Indies to form a lesbian nation.
Meg Kristen coined the phrase women's music, but she would have liked to say it was lesbian music.
And that's kind of the origins of the Con Behavior Collective.
You can listen to Cruising on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. New episodes air every other Tuesday starting February 4th.
In humanity's search for other worlds, we found something unexpected.
It's a massive collection of tiny pocket realities, and each one is a story.
So we can actually transcend our usual 4 dimensions of space and time to go physically into these stories?
Yes, using the Muse Pod.
But when we explored those stories, things didn't go as planned.
Mr. Darcy? That horrid man.
I am Mr. Sherlock Holmes.
None of us have been the same since Beth died.
What happens when classic stories go wrong? I go in to fix them.
Ah, humbug.
Oh, Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou Romeo?
For the love of God, mon frère!
Subscribe and listen to Muse, the latest audio drama from Dayton Writers Movement and Realm.
I am Dracula, and I bid you welcome.
Hello, I am Kristen Russo.
And I am Jenny Owen Youngs.
We are the hosts of Buffering the Vampire Slayer once more with Spoilers, a rewatch podcast covering all 144 episodes of, you guessed it, Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
We are here to humbly invite you to join us for our 5th Buffy prom, which, if you can believe it, we are hosting at the actual Sunnydale High School. That's right. On April 4th and 5th, we will be descending upon the campus of Torrance High School, which was the filming location for Buffy's Sunnydale High, to dance the night away to 90s music in the iconic courtyard, to sip on punch right next to the Sunnydale High fountain, and to nerd out together in our prom best inside of the set of Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
All information and tickets can be found at bufferingcast.com/prom. Come join us.